Okay, so I was disconnected. I will share the screen. Just a minute. Okay. So my screen is visible to everyone. Why stakeholders matter? That point we are discussing. Screen is visible, everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
So there are two perspectives that we have seen. First perspective is the legal perspective. So where we can say legally the firm or any corporation is not related. So any corporation is not related with only these four elements, whereas legal aspects are considered केला तर that firm or the corporation is related with each of these particular stakeholders. So stakeholders importance to understand that point. First perspective is legal perspective, and second perspective to understand the importance of stakeholders, that is economic perspective. So in economic perspective, again the economical things of the firm, if we consider, that is also related with all the stakeholders. आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल आता काही कंपोनंट्स जर आपण बघितले जे पहिल्या मॉडेलमध्ये नाही आहेत आणि दुसऱ्या मॉडेलमध्ये आहेत, like government is one stakeholder that is not included in the traditional model, but whatever is the product त्याच्यावरती government some tax has to be paid. There are some economical things related with the government. Then again, if you see, suppliers are there, shareholders are there, civil society, social aspect also we have to consider. So every stakeholder is in somehow related with the economical aspect. मग legal perspective मुळे आणि इकॉनॉमिकल पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह मुळे स्टेकहोल्डर्सचा इम्पॉर्टन्स नवीन थेअरी मध्ये वाढत गेला. ओके, सो दॅट इज नॉट दिस मोर एक्सप्लेनेशन इन दिस पॉइंट. किंवा याच्यावरती काय क्वेश्चन नाहीत विचारणार तुम्हाला व्हाय स्टेक होल्डर मॅटर, बट दॅट इज वन पार्ट ऑफ दॅट स्टेक होल्डर्स थेअरी ऑफ फर्म. बट बेस्ड ऑन दिस पॉइंट्स द क्वेश्चन कॅन बी आस्क्ड. दोन मॉडेल एक्सप्लेन करायला सांगू शकतात. Okay, so that we have seen why the stakeholders matter, and as the stakeholders importance was increased, नवीन टेक्नॉलॉजी मध्ये स्टेकहोल्डरचा रोल वाढत गेला किंवा त्यांचा इम्पॉर्टन्स वाढत गेला. That's why a new role for management was evolved. आता पहिल्या मॅनेजमेंट मध्ये कसं होतं, हिअर मेनली टू थिंग्स यू हॅव टू अंडरस्टँड. व्हॉट वॉज द ट्रॅडिशनल अप्रोच अँड व्हॉट इज द न्यू अप्रोच. ट्रॅडिशनल अप्रोच नुसार एखाद्या कॉर्पोरेशन मध्ये फक्त शेअर होल्डर्सला जास्त इम्पॉर्टन्स होतं. म्हणजे जी काही कॉर्पोरेशनची मॅनेजमेंट आहे दॅट वॉज मेनली फोकसिंग ऑन ओनली शेअर होल्डर्स. द मॅनेजमेंट ऑफ कॉर्पोरेशन वॉज ओनली फोकसिंग ऑन द शेअर होल्डर्स. बट ॲज द in the new upcoming things or new upcoming businesses, स्टेकहोल्डरचं इम्पॉर्टन्स वाढत गेलं. त्यामुळे मॅनेजमेंटच्या रोलमध्ये काय चेंज झाला या केसमध्ये, दॅट मॅनेजमेंट हॅज टू नाव थिंक ऑफ एव्हरी स्टेकहोल्डर. इनिशियली मॅनेजमेंट हॅज टू थिंक ओनली अबाउट द शेअर होल्डर्स, but as per the new importance of all stakeholders, management's role was changed, and it was changed in the way that instead of thinking only about shareholders while taking decisions, the management has to also think about the all stakeholders. So that was the new role for the management. Okay, so that is the main concept here. So according to Freeman, this broader view of responsibility towards multiple stakeholders assign a new role to the management, because responsibility was increased, because all the stakeholders had to be considered while taking decisions, or related to anything. Rather than being simply agents of shareholders, management has to take into account the rights and interests of legitimate stakeholders. Okay, so that was the, in simple words, I am just explaining रोल कसा चेंज झाला मॅनेजमेंटचा. ट्रॅडिशनल अप्रोच नुसार कुठल्या एलिमेंट वरती फोकस करावं लागत होतं मॅनेजमेंटला, सांगा मला. ऍज पर द ट्रॅडिशनल मॉडेल द मॅनेजमेंट वॉज सपोज टू फोकस ऑन विच एलिमेंट or which aspects?
Shareholders.
Yes, it was only about the shareholders. But as per the new aspect or as per the new concern, प्रत्येक स्टेक होल्डरचा विचार करावा लागतो मॅनेजमेंटला. तर व्हाईल टेकिंग डिसिजन्स और व्हाईल टेकिंग एनी पर्टिक्युलर और व्हाईल फॉर्मिंग एनी पॉलिसी, सगळ्या स्टेक होल्डरचा आता मॅनेजमेंटला विचार करावा लागतो. दॅट वॉज द न्यू रोल डिफाइंड फॉर द मॅनेजमेंट बिकॉज ऑफ इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ स्टेक होल्डर्स वॉज increased. So that is the new role for management. Then second word we have to consider here, that is stakeholders democracy. Democracy म्हणजे काय? लोकशाही. आता ज्या अर्थी स्टेक होल्डरचं महत्व वाढत गेलं किंवा स्टेक होल्डरचं इम्पॉर्टन्स ऍक्सेप्ट केलं गेलं प्रत्येक स्टेक होल्डरचं, किंवा थोडक्यात आपण म्हणू शकतो की मोनोपॉली कडून एखादी गोष्ट कॉर्पोरेशन मध्ये कुठं स्विच झालेली आहे, दॅट इज स्विचिंग टू द डेमोक्रेसी. Stakeholders democracy, that word if you consider, that means every stakeholder has the right to put his opinion or he is playing important role in every aspect related to the corporation. That we can say as a stakeholders democracy. Okay, so that point we will see. We shall here we shall look at some of the ways in which managers can achieve this in chapter 5, but clearly the task of balancing different stakeholders expectation is major challenge. So that is the challenge for the management to fulfill the expectation of all stakeholders. It is really difficult because demand of every stakeholder is going to be different, and as each stakeholder is important, you have to do justice to everyone. Okay, so that's why it is the major challenging task for the management to manage the all stakeholders demands or their expectations. Furthermore, since the company is obliged to respect the right of all stakeholders, this could suggest further obligation to allow stakeholders to take part in managerial decisions that substantially affect their welfare and their right. In this case, there is a or in this sense, there is a case for suggesting some model of stakeholders democracy, and what that model is giving, that gives the stakeholders an opportunity to influence and control the corporate decision. Obviously, stakeholders' importance वाढल्यामुळं they were given right to take part in the management level decisions, or they were allowed to take participation in that discussion. But again, to avoid any use of that or to avoid any negative effect of that, the stakeholders democracy was supposed to be followed by each stakeholder. Stakeholders democracy म्हणजे काय? There are again some rules defined for the stakeholders as they have the right for taking the decisions or involving in the decision making process. Still, some rules were also implemented for that stakeholders, and त्याला म्हणतात stakeholders democracy model. Means there is right as well as some responsibilities with the stakeholders. Okay, so that is one thing. And corporate governance, okay, that is the another concept here. So this also includes the idea of a model or a legally binding code of corporate governance which codifies and regulates the various rights of stakeholders group. Okay, so again, to just monitor whether the stakeholders are following their responsibilities or they are not making misuse of their right, corporate governance has to be also established. जरी स्टेकहोल्डरला अधिकार दिले सगळे, मॅनेजमेंट लेवलच्या डिसिजन मध्ये पार्टिसिपेट करण्यासाठी किंवा फॉर एनी अदर फ्रंट दो द राईट्स आर गिवन स्टील दे वेदर दे आर युझिंग देअर राईट्स प्रॉपरली किंवा त्याचा कुठेही मिसयूज होत नाही ना ह्याच्यासाठी कॉर्पोरेट गव्हर्नन्स पॉलिसी इम्प्लिमेंट केली जाते. ओके, सो दॅट दिस इज द न्यू रोल ऑफ द मॅनेजमेंट विच वॉज डिफाईन्ड बिकॉज ऑफ व्हॉट? कॅन एनीवन टेल why the new role has to be defined for the management in this concern? कशामुळे रोल चेंज झाला मॅनेजमेंटचा? बिकॉज ऑफ विच पॅरामीटर्स? फ्लो लक्षात घ्या एका नंतर एक काय बघतोय आपण ह्या स्टेक होल्डर्स थिअरी ऑफ फॉर्म मध्ये. पहिल्यांदा काय बघितलं आपण? स्टेक होल्डर म्हणजे काय? कुठल्या दोन टाईपचे स्टेक होल्डर असतात? इंटरनल आणि एक्सटर्नल स्टेक होल्डर. मग in that internal and external stakeholder we have seen again two models: traditional management model, stakeholder model. ट्रॅडिशनल मॅनेजमेंट मॉडेल मध्ये फक्त शेअर होल्डरला इम्पॉर्टन्स दिलं होतं. न्यू मध्ये स्टेक होल्डर्सचं इम्पॉर्टन्स वाढलं. आणि का वाढलं? तर लिगल पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह कन्सिडर केला, इकॉनॉमिक पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह कन्सिडर केला, तर दोन्हीमुळे प्रत्येक स्टेक होल्डर हा त्या ऑर्गनायझेशन साठी इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. And as the stakeholders' importance was increased, role of management was also changed. आधी एका एलिमेंटला महत्व होतं, आता एका एलिमेंट सोबत अजून 8 एलिमेंट तिथे वाढले असतील. तर ऑब्वियसली द मॅनेजमेंट हॅज टू चेंज सम ऑफ द पॉलिसी बिकॉज नाउ दे हॅव टू टेक केअर ऑफ ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स. मग कसा चेंज झाला त्याचा रोल? दे हॅव टू or meeting the expectations of each stakeholder. That is really a challenge for the management. So for that स्टेकहोल्डरला ऍक्टिव्ह पार्टिसिपेशनचे राईट आहेत. एखाद्या डिसिजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस मध्ये स्टेक होल्डर पार्टिसिपेट करू शकतो. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टेक होल्डर्स डेमोक्रेसी. बट वेदर द स्टेक होल्डर इज मेकिंग प्रॉपर यूज ऑफ हिज राईट टू मॉनिटर दॅट कॉर्पोरेट गव्हर्नन्स वॉज or corporate governance, that policy was implemented by the corporations. Okay, so this is the new role defined by the or that is the new role which has to be followed by the corporation management. So is it clear whatever we have discussed? Just give some answers. Yes, Ankita, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the next point is न्यू रोल ऑफ मॅनेजमेंट बघितला आपण. आता पुढचा पॉइंट बघितलाय. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट विच वी हॅव टू सी दॅट इज स्टेक होल्डर्स थिंकिंग इन अ युरोपियन context. Okay, so for this considering some stakeholder or their importance, some युरोपियन कंटेक्स्ट किंवा युरोप मधल्या कंट्रीजचा काय अप्रोच आहे रिलेटेड टू दिस स्टेक होल्डर्स importance, or what they think about stakeholders, or what are their policies about the stakeholders. That just one or two things we will discuss about what is the context of European countries related to stakeholders. Okay, so obviously again some of the countries they may agree upon importance of stakeholders. Some of the countries still they are not agreeing and they are not giving the more importance to the stakeholders. So that may happen or that may vary from country to country. Okay, so stakeholders theory is very simple, straightforward approach to the modern corporation. Therefore, so in the second part of this book or second part of this particular PDF, we will be having a detailed look at major stakeholders of the company and provide in-depth analysis of company's obligations and approaches towards the different stakeholders. Okay, so based on company, based on country, based on organization, the role of stakeholders they are considering that is going to change. Okay, so there are again two aspects or two examples we have to consider for understanding what is the concept of stakeholder in these European countries. So that two things we will see. In the certain sense, then one could argue that although the terminology of stakeholder theory is relatively new in Europe, the general principles have actually been practiced for some time, and that two examples we have to consider. जे European country मध्ये stakeholderशी related what examples are considered, that we will just see. So first example is the vision of stakeholder democracy reads as something of a blueprint for the German model of industrial relation. Okay, so this one example they have given related to the one country, that is the vision of stakeholder democracy reads as something of blueprint for the German model of industrial relation. Okay, so in the case of German, or in the case of this country, they are considering the stakeholder democracy as blueprint. Blueprint means what? The very important thing for the German model of industrial relation. Okay, so in for this particular country, whatever are the industrial relations to build or to define the industrial relation, they are using this stakeholders democracy as a main concept. Okay, so that is one example we have to consider. On the supervisory board of large public shareholders owned corporations, at least 1/3 of the board members have to be representative of that employees. म्हणजे आता इथे त्यांनी detailed explanation दिलेले आहे. Main thing what we have to consider in the German model of industrial relation. In that country, the stakeholders democracy is considered as main point to build the relationship between the industrial people. Okay, so means obviously here the stakeholders are given of more importance. Then second example, in the early 1990, the Netherlands. So first example is of Germany, second it is of the Netherlands. So the Netherlands introduced the instrument of convenience into environmental legislation, so that is known as by this particular name. In order to improve the environmental performance of industry, the Dutch government gave targets to 13 sectors, while the responsibility for meeting this target was an issue of self-regulation by companies within these sectors. Okay, so another example they have given, that in case of this Netherlands country, the focus was given on the environmental aspects. Okay, so these two examples are just given to consider the stakeholders thinking in European countries. So they are the stakeholders, they are considering important related to the environmental related thing. Okay, so like that, from country to country, the importance of each stakeholder, the concern of each stakeholder, or the role of each stakeholder, that is going to change from country to country. Okay, so that is just one point we have to consider. आणि युरोपियन कंट्री मध्ये स्टेकहोल्डर कुठल्या कंटेक्स्टनी घेतले जातात किंवा कुठल्या कन्सर्ननी त्याचा विचार केला जातो, that is explained in these two examples. Okay, then now this is also the general discussion. Now this point is very important, based on which the questions can be asked. Different forms of stakeholders theory. आता जसे आपण दोन मॉडेल बघितले, two models we have seen to explain the relationship between the stakeholder and the firm. Similarly, we have to see the various types of stakeholders theories. So the popularity of stakeholder theory in the business ethics literature has meant that quite different forms of theory have been emerged, and it is important to be able to distinguish between them. Okay, so there are three types of the theories which are involved or which are invented by this Thomas, and which are the three stakeholders theories. First is normative stakeholders theory, second is descriptive stakeholders theory, and third one it is instrumental stakeholders theory. So the question can be asked as, एक्सप्लेन द वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ स्टेक होल्डर्स थेरी. तर 3 मेन टाइपच्या आहेत स्टेक होल्डर्स थेरी, which were invented in 1995 and it was invented by Thomas. And first theory is normative stakeholder theory. So what is there in normative stakeholder theory? This is theory which attempts to provide a reason why the corporation should take into account the stakeholders interest. Okay, so I will just highlight here the main words. You just focus on that. याच्यामध्ये काय दिलेलं आहे की this is the reason, or in this theory it attempts to provide a reason why the corporation should take into account stakeholders interest. Normative ethical theory मध्ये काय डिस्क्राइब केलेलं असतं? Why it is important for corporations to take into account stakeholders interest. स्टेकहोल्डर थेअरीचे 3 टाइप आपण बघतोय. त्यातला पहिला टाइप आहे नॉर्मेटिव्ह स्टेकहोल्डर थेअरी. नॉर्मेटिव्ह स्टेकहोल्डर थेअरी मध्ये why that term is important. In descriptive ethical theory, how that term is important. And in third, whether it is beneficial, that term is important. म्हणजे तिन्ही थेअरी मध्ये स्टेकहोल्डरचाच रोल आहे. पण पहिल्या नॉर्मेटिव्ह स्टेकहोल्डर थेअरी मध्ये काय डिस्क्राइब केलेलं आहे? इट अटेम्प्ट्स टू प्रोव्हाइड रिझन व्हाय द स्टेकहोल्डर शुड take into account, why the corporation should take into account the stakeholders important किंवा interest. नॉर्मेटिव्ह इथिकल थेअरी मध्ये कुठला कन्सेप्ट डिस्क्राइब केलेला आहे? why the corporation has to take care about the interest of stakeholders. का घेतला पाहिजे स्टेकहोल्डरचा इंटरेस्ट लक्षात घे कॉर्पोरेशन. ते नॉर्मेटिव्ह इथिकल थेअरी मध्ये नॉर्मेटिव्ह स्टेकहोल्डर थेअरी मध्ये एक्सप्लेन केलेलं आहे. In descriptive stakeholders theory, in this theory, it attempts to ascertain whether and how the corporates actually take into account stakeholders interest. Normative stakeholder theory मध्ये का इम्पॉर्टन्स द्यायला पाहिजे किंवा का कन्सिडर केला पाहिजे स्टेकहोल्डरचा इंटरेस्ट, that is described or that is explained in normative stakeholders theory. In descriptive stakeholder theory, it is explained how the corporations actually take into account stakeholders interest. कशा पद्धतीने तो इंटरेस्ट कन्सिडर केला जातो हे डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह स्टेकहोल्डर थेअरी मध्ये डिस्क्राइब केलेलं आहे. आणि इन्स्ट्रुमेंटल स्टेकहोल्डर्स थेअरी मध्ये काय एक्सप्लेन केलेलं आहे? दिस थेअरी विच अटेम्प्ट्स टू आन्सर द क्वेश्चन ऑफ whether it is beneficial for the corporation to take into account the stakeholders interest. See, it is very simple. 3 theories, obviously they are related with stakeholder. Normative ethical theory मध्ये काय सांगते? Normative stakeholder theory काय सांगते? Why the corporation has to take into account the interest of the stakeholder. That is in normative. Descriptive मध्ये how actually the interest of stakeholders is taken into account, that is explained in descriptive stakeholders theory. And instrumental stakeholders theory, this theory explains or its attempt is to answer the question whether it is beneficial for the corporation to take into account the stakeholders इंटरेस्ट. म्हणजे कॉर्पोरेशन साठी फायद्याचं आहे का स्टेकहोल्डरचा इंटरेस्ट लक्षात घेणं, हे इन्स्ट्रुमेंटल स्टेकहोल्डर थेअरी एक्सप्लेन करते. ओके, सो दीज आर नथिंग बट these are 3 approaches to explain the stakeholders theory. So 3 theories are there. Quickly we will see. Normative stakeholder theory मध्ये काय सांगितलं जातं की स्टेकहोल्डरचा इंटरेस्ट कन्सिडर करणं का गरजेचं आहे कॉर्पोरेशन साठी. डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह इथिकल थेअरी, डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह स्टेकहोल्डर थेअरी मध्ये काय सांगितलं जातं? इट अटेम्प्ट्स टू असर्टन वेदर and how corporations actually take into account the stakeholders interest. Actually stakeholderचा इंटरेस्ट ते कसं लक्षात घेतात आणि how they are acting upon the interest of the स्टेक होल्डर्स ते डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह मध्ये. ऍक्च्युअली काय होतं हे डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह स्टेक होल्डर थेअरी मध्ये एक्सप्लेन केलं जातं आणि इन्स्ट्रुमेंटल स्टेक होल्डर थेअरी मध्ये काय डिस्क्राईब केलेलं आहे. It attempts to answer the question of whether it is beneficial for the corporation to take into account stakeholders' interest. Stakeholderचा इंटरेस्ट कन्सिडर करणं हे त्या कॉर्पोरेशनला फायद्याचं आहे का नाही त्याच्यावरती जास्त फोकस केला जातो. सो दीज आर द 3 डिफरंट फॉर्म्स ऑफ स्टेक होल्डर्स थेअरी. Okay, so though these are 3 forms, the final aim of these 3 theories is to have the relationship between the stakeholder and the any firm. Okay, so that is the main concept here. So are you clear with this stakeholders theory? याच्यावरती MCQ विचारू शकतात, याच्यावरती theoretical question येऊ शकतो. What are the different forms of stakeholders theory? So is it clear? Is it clear? Yes. Meenakshi.
Yes, ma'am.
Then next, the point is corporate accountability. Accountability means what? जबाबदारी. Corporate ची जबाबदारी काय आहे? With respect to some social aspect and with respect to some other things that we have to consider. Okay, but now the time is over. So we will see this point in the next lecture. So what is the corporate accountability? Okay, so we will stop here.